Have you ever noticed how the harder you try to force something to happen, the more it slips through your fingers? You chase it, you plan it, you think about it nonstop, and somehow it just doesn't come together. But then, almost mysteriously, the moment you finally relax, the moment you say, "Okay, I'm done pushing," that's when things begin to move. A message comes through. An opportunity appears, something shifts, and you're left wondering why. Now, if you've been feeling like life is taking longer than it should, like your prayers, your goals, your desires are stuck somewhere in the waiting room of the universe, I want you to know something very important. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten, and you are certainly not being punished. You're simply being asked to let go. And I know that sounds easier than it feels because letting go can feel like giving up. It can feel like losing control. It can feel like you're just sitting back while life decides everything for you. But that's not what letting go is. Letting go is not giving up your desire. It's releasing your grip on how and when it must happen. And that is where miracles begin. Let's be honest for a moment. You've probably been in that space where your mind just won't rest. You keep replaying scenarios, imagining outcomes, overanalyzing conversations, wondering if you did something wrong, wondering if you should do more. It's exhausting, isn't it? It's like your mind is running a marathon but getting nowhere. And the truth is this constant mental effort isn't helping you move forward. It's actually slowing everything down. Because when you hold on too tightly, you create resistance. Think about it like trying to float in water. The more you tense up and fight the water, the more you sink. But the moment you relax your body, the water holds you up effortlessly. Life works in a similar way. When you're gripping tightly, trying to control every detail, you're operating from fear. Fear that it won't happen. Fear that you'll miss out. Fear that you're not enough. And fear creates tension. But when you let go, you shift into trust. And trust creates flow. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much. Because your entire experience of life is shaped by the energy you carry. When you're anxious, desperate, or constantly seeking validation from outcomes, you're telling yourself, "I am incomplete without this." And your mind listens. Your body responds. Your actions become driven by lack instead of alignment. But when you begin to trust, when you begin to say, "I know what is meant for me will find me at the right time," something powerful happens. You start to feel whole now, not later. Not when it finally works out, but now. And from that place of wholeness, you make better decisions. You attract healthier situations. And you create space for things to come to you naturally. There's actually a simple way to understand this, and it's both logical and deeply comforting. Think of your life as a combination of preparation and timing. Preparation is what you control. Your growth, your mindset, your actions. Timing is what you don't control. The right moment, the right people, the unseen connections that have to fall into place. Most of us are trying to control both. And that's where the frustration comes in because you can plant the seed, but you cannot force it to grow overnight. You can water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, but the timing of its bloom is not in your hands. And imagine yelling at a plant to grow faster. That's what we do to ourselves. We rush. We stress. We compare. And then we wonder why we feel stuck. So instead of forcing, what if you started aligning? What if you focused on becoming the version of yourself who is ready and trusted that the timing will meet you there? This is where everything begins to change. Now, let me give you something practical, something you can actually use starting today. The first step is awareness. Catch yourself in the act of holding on too tightly. Notice when your thoughts start spiraling into "when will this happen?" or "why hasn't it happened yet?" And instead of following those thoughts, gently interrupt them. You can even say to yourself, "I choose to trust the timing of my life." It might feel strange at first, maybe even a little silly, but your mind needs new instructions. The second step is to shift your focus from outcome to presence. Ask yourself, what can I do today that feels aligned with who I want to become? Not what can I do to make it happen faster, but what can I do to grow, to feel good, to move forward in a healthy way? This could be something small, taking care of your body, learning a new skill, having a meaningful conversation, resting when you need it. These small actions build momentum and they keep you grounded in the present instead of trapped in the future. The third step is to release control in a tangible way. And here's a simple exercise you can try. Write down the thing you've been holding on to so tightly. Be honest. Then underneath it, write, I am willing to let go of how and when this happens. I trust that what is meant for me will not pass me by. Read it out loud, and then let it sit. You don't have to burn the paper or do anything dramatic. Just allow yourself to feel that release, because letting go is not a one-time event. It's a practice. The fourth step is to create space for miracles. And yes, miracles need space. If your mind is constantly cluttered with worry, doubt, and overthinking, there's no room for new possibilities to enter. So give yourself moments of stillness, moments where you're not trying to figure everything out. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Take a deep breath and just be. These moments might seem small, but they are incredibly powerful, because this is where clarity comes from. This is where ideas appear. This is where peace begins to grow. And finally, the fifth step is to trust the evidence of your own life. Look back. Think about the things that worked out even when you couldn't see how they would. Think about the timing that didn't make sense at first, but later turned out to be perfect. Your life is full of proof that things can come together in ways you couldn't have planned. So, why doubt it now? Why assume that this time will be different? You don't have to have all the answers. That baseline can change. And it starts with one simple shift. You begin treating yourself like someone who is already worthy. Not someday. Not when you achieve more. Not when someone else finally validates you. Music, but now, right here, right as you are. So, let's begin with something powerful. Take a breath and repeat quietly to yourself. I deserve people who see my value. Music, again. I deserve people who see my value. Feel that? Let it settle gently in your heart, because this isn't arrogance. It's self-respect. And self-respect, music, is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Now, music, I know what some part of your mind might say. But what if people leave when I start valuing myself more? And the honest answer is some might. But the people who only stayed because you were overgiving, overcompromising, or underestimating yourself were never truly aligned with you in the first music place. And making space for better connections is not loss. It's growth. Think of it, music, like cleaning out a closet. At first, it feels uncomfortable to let things go, music, but once you do, you finally have space for what actually music fits you. Now, let's talk about something practical you can start doing today, because awareness is powerful, but action is what creates change. The first step is noticing your patterns. Pay attention to moments where you feel drained, unappreciated, or overlooked. Ask music yourself gently, what am I tolerating here? Not with judgment, just music, with curiosity. The second step is setting small boundaries. And don't worry, this doesn't mean you suddenly become cold or distant. It can be something as simple as saying, music, I can't do that right now, instead of immediately saying, yes, or choosing not to. Music. Explain yourself endlessly when a simple answer is enough. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines that teach others how to treat you. The third step is affirmation and reinforcement, because your mind needs repetition to believe something, music, new. So, let's begin building that belief together. Repeat after me. I deserve respect. I deserve to be seen and appreciated. My value is not determined by how much I give. I am enough just as I am. I attract people who respect and honor me. I release the need to prove my worth. I am worthy of genuine love and support. You just have to trust that answers are unfolding. And I know sometimes that trust feels fragile. Sometimes you wake up and the doubt is loud again. That's okay. You're human. You're allowed to have moments of uncertainty, but you don't have to stay there. You can always come back to trust. You can always choose to let go again and again. And here's something I want you to remember, especially on the days when it feels like nothing is happening. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean nothing is moving. There are things aligning behind the scenes. People you haven't met yet. Opportunities that are being prepared. Versions of you that are still unfolding. Life is working even in the silence. And sometimes the delay you're experiencing is actually protection. Protection from something that wouldn't have been right, preparation for something better than you imagined. So instead of asking why is this taking so long, try asking what is this time preparing me for? That one question can shift everything. Because now the waiting becomes meaningful. Now, the pause becomes purposeful and you're no longer stuck. You're growing. So, here's what I want you to do after this. Pick one thing, just one, that you've been holding on to tightly and practice letting go of the timeline, not the desire, not the vision, just the timeline. And see how it feels. Notice if your shoulders relax a little. Notice if your mind becomes quieter. Notice if you feel even a small sense of relief. That's the beginning. And if this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to do something simple. Leave a comment and share one thing you're choosing to trust the universe with. There's power in putting it into words. There's power in declaring, I am ready to let go. And if you know someone who's been struggling with patience, with control, with feeling like life isn't moving fast enough, share this with them. Because sometimes the reminder we need is not that we should do more, but that we can relax into what already is. And as you move forward from here, carry this with you. You don't have to chase what is meant for you. You don't have to force what is already on its way. Your job is to become aligned, to stay open, and to trust. Because miracles don't come from pressure. They come from peace. And the moment you truly let go is often the moment everything begins to fall into place. So take a breath, release the tension, and trust that your timing is not wrong. It's perfect.